We was just here Monday with our guest Christy Love. That's what I called her, Christy McMillan, who was the love coach. Believe it or not, she not gonna be on the air, but she is in the studio again with us today. So we're gonna be talking about doing some things. So I just want to put that out there. I'm so excited about what's going on. Before I even get started, yes, as you see, I got it on. I'm wearing my award necklace. You know, I'm not taking this lightly. Again, I just want to give honor and praise to God that Dr. Tansy Lynch came in and she had a powerful message for us on Sunday. It was so powerful, and it was just amazing that, you know, God just blessed us all, everybody in that room, not just because I got the award, but everybody got the message from her and several other pastors who were in there as well, and ministers and so forth and so on. And just God is good. And then it was just amazing that I happened to be in there with some people that, you know, I love very dearly and grew up with. And so, you know, with that said, you know, I got a surprise. You know, we got one of my heroes back in with us today. I also want to just again send out condolences to the Nelson family for the loss of Lynn Nelson. That's going. Her funeral is going. The service is going to be on November 10th at the Harvest Church. But let me introduce my guest, because my guests know Lynn and she knows everything I'm going on. So, you know, I'm gonna just want to say to everybody, y'all know her, a lot of you, and who don't. This is my guest, Kim Thorton, and welcome back. Welcome back.
Thank you for having me back.
How you been doing?
I've been great. I can't complain.
So, you know, of course, I was just talking about Lynn. So, because you knew her, I didn't want to just keep on going on if you wanted to chime in. So,
actually, she asked me to write her book, and she had started sending me the material to get the book started. And I was literally waiting for her to send me the rest of the stuff. And when I got that call and said she was gone, I was just blown.
Yeah.
Because that's a real hard pill. If you ever wanted to know about what was going on in Virginia, Lynn would tell it.
Yeah. Yeah, she was a serious individual.
She was in everything. I mean, she knew stuff that I hadn't even forgot about.
She was a library herself.
Yeah. Okay. So that explains that, because she had, I mean, everything that was going on. I got it just by looking on my page, because she would post it.
I know. Anything that was going on in Alexandria, Lynn Nelson would share that information. She's going to be truly missed.
Yes, she will be.
I was talking to one of our dear friends, Tracy, today, and we was talking about Lynn, and one of the things that I made a commitment was I was going to, you know, even though I know I've been doing my part with networking and stuff like that, but I wanted to make sure that I keep her legacy alive.
Right, somebody picks up the ball.
Yeah, and you know, and just kind of do things that I know that she really was setting out for me to do, because she had kind of backed off a little bit, and I'm sure that she was dealing with her life. You know, Lynn was all over the place, everywhere, in everybody's book, in everybody's store, in everybody's heart. You know, so she's gonna be truly missed.
Yeah.
But Kim, I'm just, first of all, again, you know, I told you this before, I'm so proud of you with all the things that you have accomplished, and here you writing books. Kim is writing books. She's writing books.
I don't take no credit for that. That's all God. That's all God.
This is amazing. How many books you got under your belt right now?
14.
14. Mm-hmm. Okay.
And I have a book that's going to come out, I guess maybe at the beginning of the year, and I'm trying to shop it for a movie deal.
Okay. Okay.
And so I've been concentrating on that, but I've been putting stuff out in between doing that project too. So that's why a lot of times I'm unavailable, but I'm not unavailable. I see what's going on, but I'm in the process of doing other things. So, and I want to get the movie shopped right, because I want to use some of the kids from Alexandria in it.
Oh man, that'd be amazing.
That's my goal.
So I you know, and I'm going to be talking about different things and different people, and I do that based on the fact that a lot of us have some of the same agendas of moving forward and try to involve people, trying to help people, and that's what People to People is all about.
Okay.
You know, that's what we are. That's why I changed the name. I tell people, I probably say this over and over, is it went from Real Talk Live to People to People, because it's not about me, it's not about you, it's about us.
Right.
And people, me, you, them, all of us. You know what I mean? So,
gotta reach out. Yeah. I try to, whatever I do, I try to bring somebody up, you know, with me.
Yeah.
I'm not going to know something and know you trying to do it and not, you know, try to help you do it. And that's why a lot of times when the people see me and they start talking about the book writing, I'm saying, well, the first step is to write.
Yeah.
I don't care if you just write one page. Get that started, and we can build from that one page, because that's actually how I got started. I had no intentions on to write no book, but I had a story that I wanted to tell. And so a 15-year-old girl inspired me to write, and that's why I write.
From that last time that I had you at the studio where we was at the Lover location, I wanted to, can you tell a little story about Dougie Fresh?
Oh my, you did not just put me on spot. Well, you know, and I actually had that picture sitting up. I had that picture that we took with Dougie Fresh in my house, and the one with Curtis Blow.
Right.
So when people come to my house, they say, "Oh, you big time." I'm like, "Is that what y'all call this?"
but
who will pay this mortgage next week?
But what got me, so here, you know, we was out doing things, and we in a circle doing some things, and we'd run into each other, right? And so Kim happened to come in, and she see me, and I got a VIP pass. She got a VIP pass too, and she said to me, she said, "Well, Rodney, take me back to meet Dougie Fresh." And I said, "Okay," right? Didn't know Dougie. I hadn't met him at that time. I hadn't met him in person,
right?
But this dude who was playing around told me he was Dougie Fresh. So
and I look back at man said,
look, I took her back and say, "Oh, hey, Dougie Fresh, I want you to meet my friend Kim."
I looked at him and looked back right. I said, "Really?"
Kim looked at me like, "Rodney, are you joking? That is not Dougie Fresh."
Not only that, the guy couldn't sing or nothing. He there waiting to dance just like me. I said, "Rodney, that's okay. I'm gonna find him on my own."
So it was so funny, but that was the day that I actually met Dougie, and
we all met him the same
day. Yeah.
But I knew who he was because I followed the Go-Go, and so when I seen him, that dude, I looked at dude.
She was like, that's not Dougie, Rodney.
That's a bad imitation.
So now I'm feeling embarrassed because I thought like I was the one that was introducing you to somebody. But we end up actually being able to network and do a lot of things with Dougie and Curtis, and got to hang out with them on several occasions.
Yeah.
And speaking about doing that, we got to get our friend Barbara out.
Yeah. And you know, I spoke to her recently, and her husband had COVID, and so she was dealing with that. You know, she lost her father, and so that's why she hasn't been doing as much as she normally do, but she is getting back to doing some of the things she was doing that we were a part of, and so I'm like, okay, we'll hook up again.
Yeah. Well, to be honest with you, we all been really taking on different platforms and different things.
Different avenues.
Yeah. So getting back to your books now, so you're talking about writing a book that you're going to convert to be a movie?
Yes. And it's a book called, the name of the book is called Retired. It's about 2 retired assassins, and they're women. And so I don't want to give up too much of what's going to go on, but know tomorrow going to have her daughter.
Ah, man.
And
that's
under the title is Revenge is Coming. So
that's going to be tight.
Yeah.
So I'm working on my book now, but one of the things I've been finding is sometimes it's hard for me to be just like in it, because I start to because I'm working on my life book of my autobiography. And I find myself sometimes getting emotionally drawn in. How is that? What can you?
I'm writing, my biography is called Through the Fire, and it talks about going through the fire. And a lot of people know me, and a lot of people think they know me. And so because of my sister, a lot of people associate me with her, and so that's how they know me, through her. But my story is my story, and my sister's story is her story. And so I wrote a book, From the Streets to the Church, and that talks about me and my two sisters. And they were two real sisters from the hood in the street. And so that just gives people an idea of what my book is going to be about. But a lot of people think because I did 10 years in the military that I don't have no flaws. And that's not true.
Right.
I have flaws. Actually, I went to jail for 13 months. And it was because I got caught with crack that I was selling. And so one of the things that I asked God to do was, if you get me out of here, I'm going to spend the rest of my life trying to help other people not to come here, because I had never been in trouble before. And they said, you did 10 years in the military. The judge looked at me and said, now you're going to do 10 years in the jail. And I looked at the lawyer and I said, so is he talking about me going to jail? And they said, yeah. And I'm like, oh. And so the day that I went to court and they locked me up, when they took me to the jail, my sister was already in jail. So I was in the cell right next to her.
Oh my goodness.
And so, and it's really funny because my sister was the short of, it's 9 of us, and she was the shortest one, but she was the thoroughest one. She did all of the street stuff. And so I've always been like her protector. I've always fought all of her battles and stuff. So when we got to jail, we just picked right up like nothing had happened. And I said, wait, and she said, this ain't the life for you. You know, and as soon as you see me get into it with somebody and you get involved in that, you know, you don't want to do that, because what's going to happen is they're going to lengthen your time here. And so a lot of the stuff she was still teaching me along the way on the inside what not to do to get out. And so she said, look, join the drug program. She signed me up for the drug program. So I got into that, and I did 6 months in the drug program. Then they sent me to Second Genesis. And I had saw that building all my life. And I never knew what went on in that building on the corner of King Street.
Right, I remember. So, yeah.
You know, we passed that thing. We see them people out there. We don't know what they're doing. Didn't even care. Yeah. Until I became one of them people. And I'm like, and y'all want me to do what? Well, I'm living here. I'm like, oh no, this is too close to my house. And it worked, because I knew one thing for sure. I'd already told God what I was going to do. And instead of 10 years, I did 13 months. So I had to do what I said I was going to do. And that was one of the things that I did. I got out and I got with some people that was writing books, because that's all I did while I was in jail. Read books and did hair. Read books and did hair. And so when I got with these people and they said, well, the first thing you got to do is write the first page. And I'm like, and so what am I going to put on the first page? She said, it was your book. And so I'm like, okay, well, let me tell part of my story with this other girl's story. And when I started writing and I started telling them about how, you know, I stole some drugs thinking it was one drug, but it was another drug, and it just sent me downhill. And so I wanted to share that story in that book, because I want people, the young people, to understand that you drive these expensive cars and you're 17, the police is coming. It's just that simple. If your mom or dad ain't rich and they not well known with somebody, you're going to jail, because the police ain't going to stop until they get you. And that's just how that works. And so when I drive down certain streets in Alexandria, I just remember all the times that I was out there on them same streets doing the same thing. And it's like I want to get out and talk to them. But nowadays, we not fighting with your fists and coming back tomorrow and we buddy. Right. They shooting with guns, and so you just can't take that approach. And so, but we got to figure out a way to reach these kids.
Yes, I love that. I think that that's one of the things that I'm so impressed with us who've been out there dealing with different things and been through different things. That we have not forgotten where we came from. And so we're going back to the neighborhood and to the areas and saying, hey, come on and join us and let us show you and teach you some things. So that I commend you on that. A lot of people who don't know you, I know you personally. Now, one of the things is this. I was borderline hoodlum.
Yeah. Okay. Borderline.
I was borderline. I did enough not to get locked up.
Not to get locked up. Okay.
And so, you know, I did my dirt too. You know, we used to hang out.
Yep.
So I did my dirt too. But one of the things that I always liked was I was a listener. So I can even with your mom. Your mom was all our mother.
And you know, she turned 81 3 days ago, and I posted the picture on Facebook. You know, my box has not stopped ringing. People talking about she don't look 81. I'm 60 something. You know, she can't be no teenager. I'm sitting here saying to myself, "Ma, are you ever gonna age? Because I want to look like you when I get 80 something."
Well, you know what was so cool about your mom though? She allowed us to kind of stay off the street.
Yeah.
And let us hang in the house.
And we all would. She didn't have to hit us because she could give everybody that look.
Yeah.
And that, you know what the look meant.
Right. So it was many parents like that, that allowed us to be around just to keep us under control.
But we don't have that no more.
We don't have it no more. I know.
No more. And that's what's killing our kids, the parents, because now with COVID, hey, ain't nobody letting you in the house anyway. But prior to that,
now that and that's gonna be another story down the line, because one of the things we gotta understand, time has changed, but we gotta get a grip on what's going on, because we gotta get where we are still having people come in your home. You gotta be able to still sit at the dinner table and talk and have those family meetings and gatherings, because I'm gonna tell you something. When you are by yourself, and that'll be a whole different story. When you're by yourself, after a while, you start to become depressed. You start to forget how to love and do things. We was talking about that, and actually, when I bring Miss Christie back in to talk some more about the projects that she works on and the love coaching things, that's going to be a part of about people dealing with it.
People have definitely got to. I'm not going to tell people to take chances, and especially people that have problems already. But the only way we're going to save our children is to be with these kids. You can't teach a kid if you don't see a kid. You can't teach a kid if you don't talk to a kid. I have grown children, and when I call them, the first thing they say, my daughter had just called me when I got here. She said, "Mom, what you doing out there? You supposed to be home." And I'm like, "I'm good." She like, "My son, hello, it's your mama. Did y'all forget y'all had one?" And they like, "You don't give us a chance."
Yeah.
I don't want to give them a chance to, to forget what, real love is like. I love my kids, and I want to be in their life so the street don't get in their life.
Well, I was talking to my oldest son about a week or so ago, and I just called him, and I was like, "Yo, what's going on?" And he said, "Nothing." He said, "Everything all right?" I said, "Yeah, everything's fine." I said, "I just miss you." And he was like, "Dad, I don't have to talk to you every day." I say, "No, it's not about that."
Right.
But I understood, where he's at, but he got to understand where I am, because we didn't come up like that,
right.
know. And they have gotten to the point they was like, "Okay, I can call you on the phone and I'm good." You know what I mean? But that's not really what it's all about. We got to have that interaction. You got to be able to hug, love, look at each other and say, "I love you," and don't wait till it's...
And that's... When I talk to my kids, when I hang up, if they don't say "I love you," I nicely hit redial. They be like, "You worrisome." I'm like, "You forgot to say something before you hung up. What if I don't wake up in the morning? You don't get to say that to me. And I don't get to say it to you." So I make that a habit. You have to say, even my little 3-year-old grandbaby and the 5-year-old, they know before that wire goes, somebody better be saying "I love you." Otherwise, I'm going to redial them back. They like, then my daughter plays that trick, she'll tell her friends, "Watch her call back."
I love it.
I mean, you gotta figure out a way to interact with your kids. And my daughter lives in Rush, Egypt. She moved all the way out by Six Flags, and she's like, "Ma, you don't never come to visit." But
so let me ask you this: where you at with being an author right now? Is that really what kind of slowed you down when you started writing, or was it the age itself, or you just
The writing sort of slowed me down because I had gotten into it, and when I started my publication company, it required a lot of work. Okay, because you have to have an editor, you have to have a graphic designer, you have to have a character developer, and you have to have the time to put in. Because if you don't put the work in, when you pick up the book, you'll know you didn't put the work in. And I just so happen to have an editor that if I don't take the time, she'll pick the phone up and call me. She said, "I could tell you was doing everything while you was doing this book." And that's the problem that I'm having with this book that she has now, because she says it's all over the place.
Oh, okay.
So that's what's keeping me grounded, you know, because I know, like, if you want this project to be successful, you have to put the time into it. And so I set aside times during the day where I'm going to work on my book from this hour to this hour. I'm going to work on my husband from this hour to this hour. I'm working on the kids from this hour to this hour. And then I'm going to work on my book from this hour to this hour. And that's how that works.
I love it. I just listened to you, so you break it. That's something that a lot of women, y'all have a knack for knowing how to strategize and say, okay, you know what, I'm gonna give you your time. I'm gonna do this time, and blah blah blah. You know.
Yeah, and it works.
With men, we all over the place. We be trying to do 9 things at one time.
That's my husband. As soon as I get right into the book and I read out loud as I write it, because it's got to sound good to me. You're like, can you bring me something to drink? I'm like, I'm not even going to tell y'all what I say. You know. I tell you. Rodney, you can imagine what I say.
Right.
I'm like, dude, this ain't your time.
but again, I'm so proud of you, knowing that you know, we grew up in Old Town Alexandria.
Yes.
There's so many about it. You know, something else that I want to say to many people, to people. Yo, this is our podcast. And this is for the DMV. I'm talking about all over. And even from, I had a gentleman, an author, to come in from North Carolina, Richard Taylor. So I say this, when we talk about the DMV, we're not just talking and locking everything in here, but we do want to represent our space.
It's a place right here.
Yeah. And you know what? I can't wait now. My book is called 504 Payne Street, and in different areas I'll talk about Queen Street. When somebody got to write the story about Queen Street in Alexandria.
But see, and I constantly think about that all the time, because a lot of people will say, you from Cameron Valley, and you from here, and you from there. And because my mom has 2 sets of kids. Well, her older kids are from Queen Street, but people that don't know us, you know, but people that don't really know us, because they came in their lives when my father and mother got divorced, and so Del Ray people, they'll say, oh, she from Del Ray. Right. And then the Shirley Duke people say, oh, no, she from Shirley Duke. But really, I'm from Queen Street. I was born 1319 Queen Street, and that's where I grew up at until I got 9, and I moved to Del Ray.
And this is so, I mean, when people don't know, but we really, even in our little area, man, we got stories telling from Green Valley to Del Ray to the Hole to the
we
Bird.
Have our own little hookup. Like New York has all those different boroughs.
Yeah.
We have all them different boroughs right here.
Yeah. And people had their little reputations, and you know, if you didn't know a certain person when you went to a certain area, sometimes you got your head peeled. Yeah. And then the next day, y'all back in the house party
together. And that's what
I
said. I just said that, you know how I would go outside and fight at the drop of a dime, and the next day I would be with the people, go to their house or bring them to my house. Nowadays, they fighting with guns.
So, you know what?
Ain't no coming back from that.
Yeah. But check this out.
Tennessee Lynch says Polly didn't play.
No, she didn't. No, she didn't. No.
You know the thing about Tyncy is, my mother used to send us to my grandmother's house, and my grandmother and Tyncy's mother was best of friends. Tyncy, this one's for you. My grandmother took Tyncy, me, and Jane to see the Jackson 5. We was 12. Tyncy was older than us. She jumps over the rail because she wanted to get closer. And my grandmother said, that's the last time y'all heifers was going in. Because we had to wait for the people to find her, then to find out who she belonged to.
and this is just amazing for y'all.
And that's why when she said, come and see her, I said, I have got to go and see her. Because that's how we grew up. You know, my grandmother was at her mama's house, and she always took us, and then I used to hang on Hume Avenue because my best friend lived there.
But so actually, y'all had the house on Del Ray Avenue. right?
My
On the
grandmama's house, no, that's my aunt's house was on the corner, and then down the street was my grandmother.
corner. Okay, because y'all was right there
319.
where Tina Moore and all that
Right,
was, right?
across the street from Tina Moore.
Yeah, man,
That's
man.
it. My grandmother lived at 413 East Delray Avenue, across the street from Mount Nebo, the church that we had to go to.
And speaking about Teensy, back in the day, she wouldn't be played with either.
But you know what? That's because that's our little hood again.
Yeah.
You know,
But
we all was in Delray.
Yeah.
As long as we was in Delray, we was fine. But when you crossed Delray to go in town, it was or the Bird.
Yeah.
Oh Lord,
It
or
was
John Roberts.
Oh my
And that's
God.
just how that was. But you know, and when I see some of them people to this day, and I look, we all aged gracefully, and we all gained weight.
Well, but go ahead.
Marie Price says she knows you from Queen Street.
See?
See,
Yeah, because her grandma lived on Queen Street, next to the Blake. So
but you know what's so funny? We all a family.
we all one big family.
Me and Dr. Tanksy was talking, and then she reminded me that she went through the tent with my grandmother.
See?
And I was telling my mom when I was sharing my boom, 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 you know what I mean?
Your
My
jewelry.
my jewelry. I love it. And I was telling my mom, and I was telling her about Dr. Tanksy, and I said, Mom, Grandma played a strong part in this woman's life. But did she not preach?
Listen, I was trying to call Jane to tell her about it. Jane died June the 4th
You forgot.
of this year.
And
I still have not gotten to the point where I don't reach the call.
yeah.
And so, and then I sit there and I just started crying because I really wanted her to know. But then I thought about it, and I got the print. I was like, I know she knows.
Yeah.
She's seen it.
I was sitting there and I was looking around and I was looking at all of us that really we grew up together and look where we are, and we was in there praising God together.
And nobody was dead.
Oh man!
How about that?
Come on, we was in there.
Funeral.
Hey, and she
That's
would
yeah.
the
And
message
did
she
her
gave
thing.
us. It was phenomenal. I just want to
The
I tell you.
pastors.
And then Sherman Harris, I got to repeat what he said, and I want people to hear something. He gave something that I won't let go ever again in my life. Sherman said, every night before you go to bed, you get rid of your old faith.
Right. Because you get new faith.
In the morning. That was, I told somebody else that today in the office, and I told him what he said. And she said, you know what? When you really think, she said, that's real powerful.
It is.
We as people have to understand that when we go to sleep and God gives us a chance to wake up in the morning, it's a new you.
All that stuff was wiped away.
Everything that's all in the past. And that's even your faith. You're supposed to wake up with a stronger faith on the next day.
But we have to get that to the kids.
Right.
You got to get it to the kids. And a lot of the children don't even go to church. You know, but I tell my kids all the time, listen, I know where I'm going when I leave here, but I'm not really sure where y'all going.
Yeah.
Because I can't take you there.
Right.
You got to get there on your own. So I'm hoping if you're watching what I'm doing, you pick up somewhere and do what I do.
But that's also what we got to be responsible for, is showing them how to do these things. Like you writing. I mean, here you are an author. I mean, now you see Davis on here because that's her maiden name.
That's
Right.
my main name.
But Kim, and these, I mean, she has, 17, 14 books. But this is phenomenal. I'm telling you, I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of Dr. Tanksy. Dr. Tanksy was talking to me about a gentleman, I'm going to call his name out, Spencer. Right? Spencer got his doctors. And
Oh, wow.
come on.
See,
Right here, another one that I can't wait till we get him on this
That's good.
platform. But with Dr. Tanksy and other individuals, and even yourself, who you are allowing us to be able to come to you with your gifts, you're sharing them and helping us to grow and being able to make some changes
I
in our
talk
life.
to people all day, every day. And the thing is, I don't charge them to help them because I got it free, and in order to keep it, you got to give it back. And so when people like Stephanie Colvin, that's been writing forever, and every time I see her, she say, I'm working on it. We're going to get that book done. Me and her, we're going to get it done.
That is so cool.
We're
For everybody
definitely
that's just joining in, you joining in as People to People with Rodney Grimes. My guest today is Kim, the author, Thorton. Kim is an amazing writer. Grew up with her. And let me tell you, if I can be really, really blank and honest, if I was 15 years old, what would I say? Kim probably would have been in jail, or she would have killed somebody, or she might have been pimping some husbands or something.
No, you know, Mr. Porter told me, John Porter, and I tell everybody that because he had told me, he said, when you did by the time you get 18. And I was 13 when he said it.
Wow.
And so when I saw him and I was 28 with a child, I said, hi, Mr. Porter. And he looked at me, and I didn't even have to tell him who I was. He said, Kim Fox. I'm like, you still here? I'm like, the military calmed me down.
Yeah.
They calmed me down from that. When I joined in there in 1978, it was done. Okay.
We got to call her. We got to call her. Call her. State your name and where you from.
This is Dr. Tyson. Having a ball. This is y'all pull the fast with this. Tell me to kill the
Hi, Tracy.
Welcome, Zena.
Hey.
we first of all, we just love you. We thank you so much.
Thank you so
for what
much.
you are doing in our life. It was an honor to hear you speak. Oh my goodness, I can't wait until you're going to do it again. And if we got to come down to Atlanta.
That's what I said. I'm going to Atlanta.
Yeah, we going to have to come down there and show them people that you have followers that will follow you, because your war cry is still in my heart. The message is tattooed in my brain. And I'm gonna tell you something. My wife, when I came home, she was so emotional when she realized that we received that acknowledgement that you made happen. And she wasn't able to be there to show support. And she said, babe, please tell her, you know, when you talk to her that, you know, I wanted so bad to be there. And I said she knew. I told her. But I just want to tell you, thank you so much.
Yes, thank you so much.
Well, thank you, and to God be the glory. Like Kim said, it's God that leads us to do this. But I want to tell y'all, I'm ready to team up and write that Queen Street story.
Come on.
Hey, come on with it. I'm ready to publish it.
That'd be.
Yes, and Kim, I'm going to let you do my next book. I've already started it.
Okay.
So while we were sitting here, the Lord said, let Kim publish your next book.
Okay.
I'll let you publish. I've already started. I was writing this called Praying Through a Pandemic.
All right.
Oh, man.
So that's what the Lord gave me. So I'm going to use your company, and I'll get with you so you can tell me what I need to do. So also, Rodney, I'm so thankful for this platform. You and Zena work hard. I thank God for dropping your name in my heart that we may bless you. But that Queen Street, that Payne Street,
come on.
Don't like that Henry Street, that just can't go together. What's that other street where the Canal 8 was?
Which street? All those places.
Yeah. We're going to say.
Go ahead.
We're going to save Dear Ray Tansy. That's the one we're going to work on. Hume Avenue and Raymond.
Raymond Avenue, because, you know, we had the association.
Right.
And, but that Queen Street.
Oh, yeah.
The Queen Street. The Queen Street grew a lot of people up.
Right.
Yeah,
real fast.
Restaurant. So,
real
yeah,
fast.
I'm in. Whenever y'all get started and we put this compilation together, they need to know the story.
All right.
You know, Dr. Tinsey, correct? Tinsey. I don't know why I keep wanting to say.
You got me saying.
And my wife's saying it. It's Tinsey. Dr. Tinsey.
Okay. All right. You got the salmon chop salad. I'm sorry, y'all. She's coming to get my food. My husband said he's just food, but sounds like cook. I'll buy it in a minute.
Hey, you just made me hungry.
I know, right?
But
Papa though, what did he say, Rodney? I'm sorry.
no, but I just want to tell you, sweetie, it's
I enjoyed
we
being
just
here.
love you. I mean, if I really had another growth in my faith with God was Sunday. I cannot tell you what that did for me. I'm not talking about the award. I'm talking about the message. The message and how you delivered it. And you know something? You was passionate.
She was.
Come on now.
And that was the first time I had seen her actually speak. But
Me too.
somebody told me that she was here before, and I was not here. So I didn't get to catch it. And I actually took Tracy with me.
Right.
We talked about that all the way home.
Right, but I can tell you this, Tansy, Dr. Tansy. You ain't got to, when you up in this area anywhere and I can get there, I'm coming.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. I want to say this, that Alexandria, Virginia is my home, and I will never, ever forget Alexandria, Virginia. It is in my heart. What happens to people, it affects me. The people that the Lord has called home, that have transitioned home. You know, these were people that either imparted us, it's something in our life. It's like Kim. When I see Kim, because Kim was a dang on fighter. Kim like the fight.
Come on, you don't know?
Kim like the.
Lord.
I like what God has done and transition. Rodney, you said it very well. We were all in church. Laurie Jarrett texted me and said, I am so glad that I'm back in touch with you. Now I got somebody to talk to. I'm like, I'm here if y'all need prayer, whatever you need, whatever I can do. Yeah. Alexandria will always be a mark in my heart that cannot be erased. Anything that happened in there, I'll try to be a part of it because I'll never forget my roots. And thank y'all so much for let's do it. Whatever I can do to help, that's where I am.
Well, God is good, and you are a blessing, and I do know that, like you whispered in my ear and told me that it's that to keep staying fast, to keep God first, and that it's a whole lot in store. I know that as well for you. Yeah, you're one of the leaders that's you're showing us to keep the faith, but God got a lot in store for you. You are an amazing woman of God, and your deliverance is unbelievable. Unbelievable. And I can't, when the next time you come out, I don't care who on the program when we come up, if you in town, you need to call me and tell me you stopping in because you are always welcome because people to people is your home.
Oh, thank you. Thank y'all. Thank you. And Kim, I just want to say, Kim, you keep writing, Kim. You keep writing, and you're 14. That's like, I got one book. I'm working on my second one.
That's right.
And the first book is all about prayer. I have to write what God give me, but this one down, and I heard what you said, you want to help people. And I'm not coming just to say, hey, Kim, can you do this? I want to knock off. I want the real deal.
That's right.
It costs this much, then this is what we need to come up with.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? Because we should not change those that God has put in our life. We should not come expecting, oh, I'm going to knock all of this. Come just like any other person would come and be a blessing to the woman of God, Kim, so that her business can flourish, so your business can flourish. I believe that. Remember what I said, but don't always come with your hand out.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm looking for Kim to publish my book, and that's encouraging me to start writing. I think I got about 10 pages, and I just got to write the rest. I'm with you, Kim. But you got to be in that mode. You have to be in that mode.
You have to be in the mode. And I'm actually getting ready to... I'm getting ready to write Christian.
I love you. I'm going to say I love y'all, Zena. I love y'all. And go, Brain!
Love you too.
Thank you, Doctor.
Thank you.
I'm actually getting ready to write Christian fiction.
That's Christian fiction.
Yeah. I'm about to talk about the people in the pulpit and them in the church.
Well, you know, you know,
and God gonna leave me.
I'm sitting here.
Everybody ain't saved and sanctified because they up in there. Because a lot of them up in there want to know what you weighing and where you got it from. I'm gonna talk about them.
But you know where I'm at right now. This is another thing, and I'm talking about transitioning and taking our position and things like that. Okay, when I was in church on Sunday, and I looked around, these are people I saw in there that we used to, if you wanted to get high, or you wanted to try to have sex, or if you was trying to steal something, or you was trying to do something. I'm talking as youngsters, right? We was all in, but we was in there all getting our praise on. And let me tell you something. While Dr. Tyson was she was preaching, and when she was getting she was doing a war song, my feet was doing something, and I was trying to tell them, please don't start to jumping up in here, because I'm trying to tell you, because I don't want them to see.
Hey, but God come for you.
But you know what?
Do exactly what He had you to do.
You got to do exactly what that's what you got to do. And my feet was moving the whole time, and I was like, they was over there just getting it, and my mind was saying one thing, and my feet was saying something else, because the Holy Spirit was listening, and it was something. So we definitely had an amazing time.
And I looked and saw that you posted some of it on there.
I put it. It's on my page.
I want my daughter to see it.
Oh yeah, you
definitely want her to see it.
Yeah, we definitely. You definitely. Everybody needs to go and look at that.
I want her to see that
on People to People. You can go on the People to People page.
Yeah.
It's posted.
Okay.
So definitely do that. But I want to take this opportunity to say this, and Dr. Tyson just said something. When you tell us how to get your books, how do we buy them? What do? We need to talk about them, promote them, because here we goes in Barnes Books and
Barnes and Noble.
Noble, right? And we see all these books in there. And a lot of us are going there and pay $20, $30 for a book when we got our own writers. And
we have our own authors here. And that's like Frank O'Hara. He was one of the people that that wrote. Renee Weeks was another one. And actually when I started, I called Renee. I said, Renee, tell me how you get this started. And out of the blue, she told me exactly what to do, and I followed that what she said, and 14 books down. And I mean, it's like you said, you got to just get the time. The mindset has to be there.
I'm just at a point like
the mindset has to be there. I mean, and it's not even hard, because if you know your story, all you got to do is put it on paper.
Right.
And see, I know my story. All the time we walked up Queen Street to Payne Street to Charles Houston. Chucky Bates and all us little June Wills, we pick them up as we go.
Yeah.
We start, because we come up Queen, pick up the Blakes on that corner, turn the corner.
Maureen.
Yeah. And Charlotte and all them, you know.
I mean.
Just going around the corner. By the time you get to school, you got 20 of us going to school.
But you know the good thing is when we go back and think about it, we're so blessed. We grew up in an area where everybody was family. Like you said, back in the day, you could, if somebody was going to fight, it'd be a whole crowd following it all the way to the area.
Where you going to fight at?
Where you going to fight at. Then when the fight is over, then everybody going home, and then the next day, the two that was fighting is walking to school together.
Me and Charlie and Jones used to fight every day. And I would go to her house the next day, and before we leave that house, we'd get to fighting again. Her mom got so tired of that, she had to go. She came to and told my mother, and her mother was big. If she hit my daughter one more time.
But Kim, you believe it or not,
He has really changed me.
He has.
Trust me, I was one of them that I was counted out by many.
What's your brother's name?
Preston. Frank.
Look. I was more worried about you than I was your brother. Because back then, all it took was somebody to say something a little slick out their mouth, and then you was.
But see, remember Lulu?
Yes,
my sister Lulu, she always say, listen, if they start talking, you just start fighting. Because y'all going to end up fighting from what she's saying. So just cut through all that. Say that energy. And that was good then, but it was bad as I got older. Now I look back, everybody that knows me from back then and say, I know you're not fighting. You done gained all this weight. And I say, you know what? And I tell my kids this, you know, don't y'all be fooled. Because I kept this one whooping. One for you and one for him. Now I'm telling y'all, do not press the envelope because you can get it. And you know, my kids, I never had to beat them or anything as kids. One time, at that 15-year stage, they tried me, my daughter, and I had to beat her and show her who was who. And then at 15, my son, and they 8 years apart. But I never had that problem out of them again.
Yeah.
Because they knew then who I was. And you know, they appreciated the things that I did. I did what I could do. And a lot of the stuff that I did for y'all, we didn't even get. A bicycle. I used to ride on the handlebars, and Jane used to guide the bicycle. Because my mother had 9 children, she wasn't buying 9 bicycles. Wasn't happening. That just wasn't happening. And she had 6 girls, and so the clothes, the shoes, the bras, everything went down to the next.
Right.
And then when them little ones came along, it was like, well, we need this and we need that. And I was sitting there looking at my mother like, and how they supposed to get that? Because we didn't even get that.
Me and my mother was having that.
We got it for them. That's how they got it.
Me and my mother was having that conversation the other day too. I was talking about some of my nieces and nephews and how they are versus how we are. When we grew up with nothing but respect. Elders talk, you listen. You don't come in there talking and disrespecting, because really what would happen back in the day, you would have a swollen eye or busted lip.
Do you remember when you get on the bus, that 13A or the 9A, and if there were old people sitting down, they were standing, we were sitting down. They didn't even have to. We said, "Ma'am, you can have this."
See,
my mother said she thought a bus went past.
Come on.
Some old people standing in our city. She said, when it stopped, you getting a whoop right at that bus stop.
That back then,
even kids don't do that nowadays.
Yeah, but you're right. It didn't matter whether we was in church or whatever.
That's right.
Oh, one of us boys. Oh, what's wrong with you? You don't see her going through the door?
Anybody could say it. It didn't even have to be your parent.
It didn't have to be your parent.
Tyson mama was like that. We would go to church, and Mrs. Ellis did not play that. She didn't play all that sassiness, no. That chewing bubble gum stuff, no. We wasn't doing that.
We was just I was talking to.
She ain't even my mama.
I was talking to a couple other people grew up with and stuff, but I was talking about how their moms always allowed me to come around. I'm gonna be honest with you. Everybody mama loved Rodney Grimes.
My mama always say that. How's Rodney doing? He fine.
But you know what?
You ask that much about your own kids. You ask about Bubble. Where is Bubble at, Mom? Why don't you get a Facebook page? She asked me this morning, what are you doing? I said, I'm on Amazon. What you buying now? You a secretary. I'm sick of her. It's a blessing, though, to have her. It's really a blessing to have my mama still alive. But she's not computer savvy or none of that. So she wanted to get a SafeLink phone. And I was doing in the kitchen cooking. She said, they told me that my daughter had to go online and get. I said, Mama, them people ain't told you that. That's her way of getting me to do it. I'm like, I'm a little tired of you.
It's amazing where we are today.
Yeah.
We stepping into that arena. We're replacing the layers.
We're replacing them.
Right.
And then this next generation is going to replace us. So we got to leave them with something. You know, that they can share with the ones that's going to replace them. And that's the thing that I pray about that all the time. God, if you don't do nothing for me, let me show some of these little kids what's coming. Because they don't have a clue. These little microwave babies don't know.
Well, you know what's really scaring me, and I'm actually just with I keep talking about, because today Christy brought up something, and we're going to talk about another thing. Because I can't wait to get it back on this show, talking about, because this one includes you as well. When we was talking about veterans, and so it was so funny because Christy is in the studio. I'm looking over at her right now, and she literally called me and told me about the next thing that she wanted to talk about on the program. It's going to be phenomenal. But the reason why I'm bringing all this up is this. We continue to come together. all of us.
That's right.
And remember that we're responsible for the children's tomorrow.
That's right.
We can't forget about them. We can't. We got to find a way to bring them back to reality. We are the soldiers now, and we got to be able to make them be prepared for everything. We got to prepare them. So, you know, for everybody out there, you know, you got a grandchild, make them put his pants up.
Yeah.
Don't have him, please, you know, and make him show you some respect. Don't have him cussing at you and talking to you any kind of way. I'm not saying knock his teeth out of his mouth, but don't
knock his teeth out of his mouth, because that's exactly what Hollywood did. No, I mean,
and Margaret Grimes too.
No, just put the fear of God in him. Make him think you gonna do it.
Man,
you know?
I saw my mom one time. My brother had to be like a young teenager, and he said something to my mother, and I saw my brother falling down the steps.
But you know what? My mother cooks with this big pot, and she was stirring this rice. So we had a German Shepherd that we had it as a baby, and so when she whooped us, she whooped the dog first. So he would know, when I go to whoop them, you better lay right there. And so that's what she would do. She told my brother, go down there and get that trash and take that trash out. My oldest brother, to this day, he still got them same marks on his back. And she was still stirring that rice, and he stomped that step. And she took the spoonful of rice and threw it right on his back. He went right on down them steps and came back up with that trash. And she went right back to stirring her rice like nothing happened. She said, "No, I'm gonna tell you one time. I don't know who was here telling you to stomp my floor, and I bet you the next time I tell you to do something, they won't show up."
And they call it. See what they
that ain't child abuse.
See, that's what I'm gonna say. They call what we had to do go through. They call it child abuse.
Now they call it child abuse because it wasn't child abuse back then.
No, because man, I'm telling you, man. Shoot, my mom. I remember.
Think of some of them whoopings you got
With a extension cord.
No, they pull the iron cord out.
Oh yeah, take the cord off the radio
and beat you
and whoop you and then plug it back up.
Come on. I know somewhere you borderline.
I saw one of my cousins get beat with the broomstick.
See?
Right? With the broomstick. And I'm telling you, that back then, and I wish you would have went and told your teacher or call the police.
Or went and let them see a broom.
You better hide it.
You remember the little pool stick, that little pool table?
Yeah.
My mother brought that pool table. I to throw the sticks and the balls away.
No, that's what.
All we had was the table.
What about
the stick about another time?
What about the Hot Wheel track?
See? the round when you had the whips on your
no, they had the Hot Wheel track was plastic.
Yeah,
that thing don't break either. I'm trying to tell you.
But that was not child abuse back then.
And believe it or not, but the love that we got. See, you got.
Don't do it again.
But the thing was this. It was a different time.
Yeah.
And you had to understand to know your place. And what you had to understand that it's a place for a child and it's a place for an adult. Don't come out of the child's place messing with an adult. Or you're going to.
Because Miss Helen used to. I would just say, we passed her house every day, and my brother, and for the life of me, she had rose bushes, and Frankie would go pick that lady flowers every day, and she would watch him pick them on the side, and by the time we got around to the front, she'd be standing right there to whoop them. And then she would take them right down there to my mama, and say, "My mama, I told you," and I told him, every time he picked my flowers, I'm going to whoop him. And my mama had to whoop him in front of Miss Helen. I say, how you going to get 2 whippings for picking them flowers? Did they give me a whooping for asking that question? I said, oh, they don't even want you to talk.
You know. Do you remember old lady Caledonia?
Yes.
We been messing with her and she chased you?
Yeah.
This was this old little lady, right? We call it Miss Caledonia. And we would.
Everybody remember that.
Yeah, we used to tease her. And she was tight. But she'd chase you. You don't want to get caught by her. She'd beat you with that umbrella.
Whatever she had.
Or whatever she had in her hand. This again, this is just how we was as children. But we didn't do the things that they doing today.
Right, because the kid, first of all, we didn't have telephones. We didn't have pagers until we got teenagers. And that stuff, my grandbaby is 3, and she calls me, and I'm on the phone. I'm still trying to get over she got a phone. And she said, "Mimi, I just sent you a picture. And you take a picture too? And you 3? I told my son, I said, let me tell you something. You wasn't born with no silver or gold in your mouth. None of that. So stop raising your baby with that idea, because if something happened to y'all, nobody's going to do that stuff for them.
Yeah.
That's why I raised my kids. And thank God they weren't the materialistic children. Then Michael Jordan, I said, oh no, I don't sleep with him, baby. You getting tootie tucks, because that's what I can buy. I don't sleep with Michael Jordan, man. You know, and he putting out a new pair of shoes every 2 months. Oh no, we ain't even going to start that trend. And I know some parents that can barely pay their rent, but they're staying in that long line at the mall to buy the Michael Jordan tennis shoes.
Yeah.
He don't even wear them.
Well, he might
saying
get
to myself, really?
mess around and bomb, and then he get killed because he got him. So you know we're in a
I
different
don't buy
time.
that stuff.
I tell you, for everybody just tuning in, as people, the people with Rodney Grimes. My guest today is Miss Kim Thorton. Let me tell you something. Kim is an author. She's an amazing writer. She also helped people to publish their books. Kim is a native from Alexandria, Virginia. An amazing friend that I am really I am so proud to have her in the studio with me. We had the opportunity to talk about many things and see some things, and like I said, sometimes we be at different events and we'll see each other and we like, what's up, you know. And I'm talking about, I ain't talking about no little tiny events. We was out there, we was going to some big events, and I was like, oh, okay, this is how we doing it now, you know. That was a blessing. So you know, I just thank God for that. But what I'm really hoping that we do with this platform, people to people, with your books, we continue to build and let people see that you can make your dreams come true. You can write about them, talk about them, come on the program.
That's a good stress reliever, right?
Yeah.
Good stress reliever.
My therapist told me that the other day when I was talking to her, and I told her that I was writing my book, and she said that's going to really help. Mm-hmm. But she wanted me to talk about how was it affecting me. Mm-hmm. And I told her that some of it was bringing up old memories and stuff like that. She said that's good, but they're memories.
Right, and all memories are not bad memories. I have some bad memories, but the good I wear. And I can truthfully say, while I've been on this earth, I've done everything I wanted to do. And I'm going my second round of doing things, because I didn't leave any stones unturned. So I'm at peace, you know. And when God saw fit to take my friend home, I knew then that, hey, now we're going to see what you made of.
Yeah.
Because me and Jane had been friends for 51 years. And there had been a time I went through something that she didn't know about, or we didn't talk about, or we didn't figure it out. Right. And that's what we did from 9 to 60.
You know, it's funny. Not everybody is going to live the life that you think they're supposed to. Mm-hmm. Me and my friend Poochie, we have we reunited over the last couple of years, and it was funny. And I'm gonna keep it real. So, you know, of course, I went to the military. I went in the Marine Corps, and he chose another direction. Mm-hmm. We were supposed to go together. We did. Mm-hmm. So when I came back, I was a little different.
Right.
He was living a certain life, and I was living one too. And I remember one time when he saw me, he kind of like, you know, kind of made me feel like it was a difference. So and at first I thought it was. Now I got it. This is a testimony of truth. I never forget. One time we was having a little problem paying the rent, and we went over to Christ Church. Now this is why I'm doing production, right? Mm-hmm. Ran through some hard times, and I had to get in line to go try to get some assistance. Mm-hmm. And I saw him, and I tried to put my head down so he wouldn't see me. Mm-hmm. And he said, "Don't hide." He called me Alex by my middle name. He said, "Don't hide your face, Alex. I see you. You know. Mm-hmm. Now you down here with us." But I never left us.
Right.
For real. You know.
That's because you went the way you went.
Right.
Because that happened to me. When I went into the military, Jane became friends with some other people because I was gone.
Right.
And when I came back, it was like, we didn't get right back together.
Exactly.
But we weren't really apart either.
Right.
Because she was always there and I was always
Right.
here. So if there ever became a problem, you know, we could get it together.
Right.
Because that's what we agreed to do way back when. And so I'm like, when we finally hooked up, she came to my house one day and she says, I want you to come and go somewhere with me. Out the blue. I'm like, yeah, okay. So I got in the car and we go around the corner from my house and this is this vacant house. And we go in the back and she crawls through the window. And I'm standing on the outside hollering, we breaking in people's houses now? And she said, no, I'm gonna own this house one day. And I'm like, well, can we wait till you own it before we break into it? She went through that window, unlocked the door, and we looked through all the rooms in that house. And within 40 days, she was moving her furniture into that house.
All right.
And there we was. I said, we done did everything now. But then we break into the people's houses. But the house was vacant. And she had been watching the house, so she knew it was vacant. And we went and she ended up getting that house. I mean, when I sit back and think about some of the things that we did as kids, and then to become adults, and we had a new set of trend things to do. We used to go to the Black Coffee scene all the time. And that was before I got married, in case my husband looked. I stood on that table. She said, where are you going up there? I'm going to stand on the table. All these black fine single men in here. I'm not passing up the opportunity. And we ended up getting on the elevator, going to the after party with Donnie Simpson and Regina Bell. And we was on that like we was invited.
Yeah. But you know, that's just us not forgetting where you came from.
Yeah.
And even with me and Poochie, and let me tell you,
so y'all was an item.
we were something. I had got to a point where, because I was so focused on what I was doing showcasing and stuff like that. I kind of had to stay focused. But I never forget, me and my wife, we went to a funeral, and the young lady who he was married to at the time, she came up to me and she said, you need to go see your friend. And I said, what's up? She said, he misses you, and you cannot imagine how much. And I was looking at her, and I was like, yeah, you know, we've been living a little different life. And I just tell you, this is a message to everybody. I don't forget where you came from. Don't ever forget where you came from. So finally, I decided to call him, and we hooked up, and I went to him, and when he saw me, he hugged me and cried like a baby on my shoulder.
Yeah, that's because y'all come from the dirt, cradle.
And he had to remind me of something. He had to remind me, bruh, don't forget where you came from. And he the only one that called me by my middle name. He still do it today. I just talked to him a couple of days ago. He called, Alex, what's up, you know? And but I just wanted to say, you know, don't forget where you came from. Don't put yourself in a position where, you know, you think you better than anybody else.
But I don't think we thought we were better. It was just that when you do it, if a person hasn't went through basic training,
right,
they don't have a clue what's going on in your head.
I'm trying to tell you.
And so when I first came back, I was different because I was trying to figure out, okay, how do you make the separation? Because I just finished breaking down M16s and finding piece and parts and cleaning them and putting them back together and spit shining boots and this, and then you dressed just like you just went to a party.
Hey, do me a favor, pull that mic off. Can you hand it to Christy? Because she over there shaking her head. So, you know, I
know how that work is. It's just how to decompress.
Can you
I
get
don't
it?
know. It's on here. So she has to,
No, I mean, I just lean it over a little bit. You can move your chair, because and the reason why I said that, you was talking, because you are military too, right?
Yes, I am. So, Army.
Army.
So I can relate, man. I wasn't like I didn't go to like war to Iraq and all that stuff, but definitely coming out it's almost like when you come out of jail. It's like, where do you fit in?
Right.
It's the same concept. I looked at my Class A's every day and was sad. Like, I just left it hanging on my closet. I was still wearing clothes from boot camp.
Yeah.
Like, my sweat, you know, it had my last name on it, McMillan. I was like, you know, Charlie Company. And when I lost those sweats, I felt like I lost like money. When I couldn't find, I was like, where's my military? My kids probably threw that away. I was wearing it all the time.
Yes, yes.
And it's like, how do you pull your life together?
Right.
You have to look for a job. You try to like get back with your family and friends, and they don't get, you have your inside jokes from the military, and you're like,
And
oh wait, right, and they were like, oh, and then they have their inside jokes that you missed, and then, people, I know like people with parenting and family things, it could be different, but
Well, what really bothered me?
it's hard.
It was when I was trying to tell them about the military life,
Mm-hmm.
and then they look at you
all
and they be
crazy.
looking at you all crazy, like, yeah, like that really happened, or like you
Right.
really experienced that. When they don't realize, I'm telling you, I was in the United States Marine Corps. I carried the M16
Right,
rifle
right.
with an M203 grenade launcher on it. I was running through the jungle where they had stuff in there that would eat you. Okay? And they be looking at me like,
When I tried to tell Jane about, when I had to do my, I went to AIT and I had to do guard duty, and they sent me to that bridge where that man was throwing them boys over. I told that company commander, I'm AWOL. First off, it's dark out here. And I'm on the Chattanooga Bridge, hearing everything that's dropped. I'm thinking it's somebody going in the water. I'm like, you mess around being shot a phone. Like, innocent people out here. That was the worst day of my life. I was out there, I said, listen, take me off the clock. You do 12 on and 12 off. And I'm like, I can't stand on this bridge for 12 hours, and then I have the night shift, of course. And you just hear the water, something going in the water. I'm like,
but see, the only thing now, I'm listening to y'all. See, y'all Army people had it real good, because for the Marines, we didn't get that.
Y'all thought y'all was a cut above us.
Oh, no, because we was the real McCoy. We had to go in there and do really all the hard and dirty work. Believe it or not, we get in there and make things, but that's a whole nother story, because I know when I talk about that, y'all don't understand. You know what I'm saying? See, don't even go there. Simplify.
And I used to walk down the sidewalk, and they used to stay on the sidewalk and make you walk over the mud.
That's right.
I know. Speaking of second class.
Yeah, they make us walk because they wouldn't get off the sidewalk because they were Marines.
Oh my God.
Right. You ain't want to mess with no jawheads. Y'all know what time it was.
I said Fort Gordon. I used to say, listen, this sidewalk don't belong to y'all. And they would never move, and I would have to.
You know what? And that's why I ain't mess with no Marines. I was like, I can't touch them.
Yeah.
Hey.
I mean, and they really believe that.
Yes.
So like, I don't care where you run into a Marine, that they believe that.
No, believe it or not, I came home from boot camp believing I could eat nails for real. I thought, walked around and running my mouth and got my nose broke by these two dudes from out of Southeast. No, the real story.
I know.
And came out of boot camp because, they put all this stuff in your head, right?
They program you.
They program you.
And that's why I chose Army.
But you know something?
They program too, yep.
No, but for real, all of us, everybody that went through boot camp, and that basic
that's their
training,
job.
And basic training.
They trained you to become a killing machine.
That's their job.
And they trained you to survive.
To survive.
Because I did telecommunication, and when you get out of the military from that, they have to you have to lose.
I ended up having to go.
They don't let you go off of that off the post for the rest of your life with that information.
I had to go to the health clinic several times when I came home, and people didn't even know because I was still waking up in the morning, going running, PT, and then on top of that, I didn't really know how to fit back in.
Yeah.
That's
what she just said.
But that's why when we was talking about Christy, I can't wait till we do that.
It's coming.
Because when we talk about that, we're going to be bringing a lot of information out about the veterans and the things that we struggle with and stuff like that.
Or them ones that's over there at the Veterans VA. It's like a big homeless shelter.
Yeah. It is.
And I went there and I looked at this one guy and I said, every time I come here, this guy is sitting here and he's sitting here. And then the security in there said, oh no, this is where they hang out at every day because this is the only place they got to go. And I never understood that. And I'm like, We can feed all the people in China, all the people in Russia, you worried about what's going on over there. Let's start worrying about what's
We got to do better with our soldiers.
Let's do
We got to. They put our life on the line, their life on the line. They give up love. They give up family. They give up their children. They give up their own freedom. They literally give up their life
and
just to protect us.
There's so many of them that are homeless.
We got to do better.
It's just ridiculous of how many military people, veterans are over there like that.
Well, you know what? Because I ain't gonna steal your time, and I'm gonna bring you back to the reality. Hey, we got any people in there that we need to shout out to, Lady Z? I just want to tell everybody, remember, look, this is not about me. This is not about you. This is all about us. You know, People to People is the People podcast, and what we're trying to do is put us in a position where we are able to tell our story and to talk about what's going on. Yo, I'm telling you, we are moving in the direction to make a change in our life. This pandemic has done something to it. It's a wake-up call.
Yes,
it's a spiritual warfare going on, but the war is also right in your living room, right in your bedroom, right at your dinner table. We got to change the way we're going about things. We got to get back to the old school where we're showing love to one another. We got author Kim Thorton in the house today. Kim, again, has she's written some 14 books. 2 of them here right now, and I'm just so proud of her because Kim, not only have you served your country, but you're giving so much back to the community and to people, and you're still doing it. And I just saw you in church, and I was like, Kim, you coming back on the program? And Kim was like, yo, I'll be there. And this is what it's all about. I want us to be able to network and support each other. How do they go about getting your books?
I'm on Amazon.com, and actually you can look me up on Facebook. Author K.L. Davis on Facebook. You can order the book there. Okay,
because we definitely want to do that. We want to make sure that we keep Kim writing because she has a lot to share. And there's many of us out there, and if you trying to get your book published, you can get in touch. What would they do? They go to your Facebook page?
Call 551-552-8216.
Say that number again.
571-552-8216.
So that they wanted to get a book published,
they can call that number.
And so we all got a story. Everybody do. And believe it or not, there's always somebody out there going through something that you went through. That's why when you was talking about, I got this, I'm trying to get in the habit where I'm really educating myself and reading the books like we said up there. I got several books from different authors up there. A couple of them I already have read, and I'm still reading one. I don't have my bag over there, but from Richard Taylor. This gentleman, author, from North Carolina, and I'm just excited about all the other new authors that's coming up.
Yeah, support them.
We got to support them, and we got to make a change. And let me tell y'all something. If there's anybody out there wanting to call in, it's 703-752-6120. The number is 703-752-6120. Also, let me tell you, we are providing mentoring programs. We are telling people you can come in and you want to do a podcast. Our location is available to rent. You want to come in and intern and learn some things. We are also going to provide that as a service. And we are looking for support. We're looking for sponsorship. A lady said a while back, and also Dr. Tinsey said, if you ask not, you receive not, right?
Instead of closed mouth, don't get
fed. So I'm telling you, the Cash App is the $RG1960. What we do, everybody came in. You see where we are today in the studio.
Yeah.
We made a lot of progress. A lot. And God is good, and I just give him the glory and praise. And we going all over the world with this. We got some journeys that we're going, and I just want to thank everybody that's been supporting us. Even again, we just lost that true soldier, Lynn Nelson. Lynn Nelson was, when I tell you, I remember one time when we was going in the air, Lynn was plugging and calling people on there and saying, "Get on there and
Right, she called me.
and show some support." She was.
No, she called me and said that, and then she called me and said, "You gonna be on that show?"
She was something.
She tell you what you gonna do.
Yes,
oh,
yes.
You on that show? She said, "Yeah, you gonna be on that show. Just listen to it today." And they on right now. I said, "Okay."
And she was just, you know, a phenomenal person. And what I wanted people to know is this is our platform. So you know, for everyone out there, you know, yeah, I look at people and I be like, "Yo, we're gonna make the difference." You know, hey,
each one reach one.
It takes one to teach one.
That's right.
You know, we got some new people out there with some new products. Matter of fact, I don't know yet, but it's a young lady who just got a water. I saw it on Facebook. Brittany.
Brittany. I think I saw.
Brittany Bird. But she might be married now. I don't know what her last name is, but Bernard Bird and Alice Williams' daughter. She has from what I seen it on there. She has a water product that she has.
Okay.
Let me tell you what I'm saying. We got to support one another. We got to help each other, and we got to be tolerant of the growth process. Because we in a whole different arena. I never thought that I'd be sitting having a podcast where I'm talking and interviewing people. I never thought you'd be writing books.
Neither did I.
You know, we got so many people out there that's trying to do some things, and what we got to do is get past that sense of jealousy or envy,
right.
and that hold them down. Let's lift them up. That's what people to people is all about.
We just make the money go round and round. You know?
The more and more we do this, and people start to see this we're gonna do. Can you hear me that cup right there? Yeah. Another thing. This is Dominique Shepherd's Scholarship Foundation. I got to keep plugging every now and again, and I got to make sure that I talk about that. It's a foundation from my cousin. He lost his daughter, him and his wife. I want to say Chris, but it's Crystal. They came on the program, and they have a scholarship fund. They have different things that they do to raise money. And what we got to do is, with all of us, I'm trying to bring in different things and show people. Can you hear me that tennis shoe right there, please? Oh, no, you know what? Here, I'm trying to put you to work. I'm trying to put you to work.
I was saying y'all the 1099.
Yeah, so, and then my man, this Kevin Hillary, right? This is his tennis shoe. Okay, he came through when we was Real Talk Live, and this was his first tennis shoe line that came out, and I mean, and this is good quality leather. This is phenomenal. Now, I'm telling you why I'm doing this is because it's all about us promoting and building.
That's right.
You know, here I got a book from somebody I grew up with, a tennis shoe designed by somebody that I grew up over him and mentored to him a little bit. I got a foundation by one of my family members that's helping people. God is good.
Yes, he is.
Come on now. You understand what I'm telling you? I'm so proud. I am so thankful for where we are today and what we're doing. Let us keep building and stop tearing each other down. And let us be where we're going to continue to show support. I am so excited what took place the other day. Again, yes, I'm going to keep showing it. I don't care. Y'all can talk about me. That's right. I got my the Community Service Award from the President of the United States. This is, this is amazing. Dr. Ticey presented this to us, and I just want to tell you I'm so proud of this. I don't even know, man. I'm just excited, and yeah, I'm going to wear my necklace and show people, yo, that this, when you do things from your heart, God blesses you.
Yes, He does.
You know, Kim was there, and she was right there, and I was so happy to see her, and for us to be able to share that moment together. And I can't wait till we really get to that platform where I'm going to still be talking and have you come back onto the show, come back onto the program, and we're going to talk about everything. But what I want you to do is just give some inspiration to some people out here who wants to be writers.
Dreams, people dream all the time, but if you don't put forth some work to that dream, it's only going to be a dream. And I never dreamed that I would be a writer, but the day that it was put in my hand, I knew that I had to pick up the tool and make something out of it. And I wrote 14 books, and I never wanted to even be a writer. But again, if you can dream it, you can achieve it. And the only way you're going to be able to achieve it is you have to put forth some effort. Nothing in life is free, and hard work is always required. And especially if it's something that you want out of life, you're going to have to put the work in to get it. If I can help you, I'm on Facebook all day. The number again is 571-552-8216. I'm available. I'm always on my phone. If I don't answer it on the first ring, I'll get it on the second one. So feel free to call me.
I just want y'all to know, you know, we are, again, trying to open doors. I've got Christy still. We talk. I can't wait to talk about some of the other things. I had a few other people I invited out, and I'm not mad at you. You know, you got to do what you got to do. I'm just being obedient. Sherman said, you know, each time that I go to bed, throw away that old faith, and when I wake up, I got the new faith. Let me tell you something. God told me to keep pushing. He told me to keep on because we're going to do big things together, and that's what People to People is about. It was People to People with Rodney Grimes, and I'll tell you, my girl Kim is in the house with me. You still got about 5, 6, 7, 8 minutes, so, you know, what you got over there?
Just going to welcome some people. Katrina's here.
Oh, hey, Prophet Katrina, how you doing, darling?
Hello.
Brenda Minnick.
Brenda from South Carolina.
Walter Shepherd.
My brother. That's my cousin.
Michael.
That's my cousin. Yeah.
Of course, you know Tansy is here. Tansy. Angela Gomez.
Hey, Angela. Peace and blessings to you.
Kimberly Wilson.
Oh my God. Kim, I love you, baby.
Tawana.
Oh, hey.
And Sugar Bridges.
You know what? Let me tell you something. Somebody said something that I got to make something clear. Let me tell you something. Don't look for everybody to clap their hand every time you do something.
That's right.
Do whatever you got to do from your heart, and everything else will come and fall in place. See, we want instant gratification. I'm no different from nobody else. I wanted everybody to look at my program and say, oh man, you're doing a good job, and this and that. But guess what? It's not about that. Why am I really doing this? Am I doing it to get recognition, or am I doing it to help people? And that's what I'm doing. So you know something? I'm gonna tell you, it is so like imperative that I continue to stay renewed with my faith, continue to move forward, and to believe in my dream. Because if you can conceive it, you sure can achieve it.
Right.
I know that for a fact. I've accomplished a lot of things in my life. My cousin, I was talking to him, and he told me, he said, you can do this, Rodney. You can go worldwide, and I believe that. I believe that with all my heart. And that's why I got Kim Thorton in here, who is an author, who's writing books and putting them out like she was, well, I wanted to say like she was putting out babies, but she ain't put them babies out like that. She put out more books than she did babies.
Exactly.
So, but, you know, she's giving birth to some
14 books.
Yeah, and babe, that is amazing. I'm telling you, I'm so proud of you, and I just want to tell you, God is just, he's doing amazing things in our life.
Yes, he is.
You know. So Kim, you got the last word. I'm gonna sit here and be quiet. You can talk about anything. You can throw rocks at the.
I never throw rocks. I just want to say that everything I do it from the bottom of my heart, and I don't do anything that I need to be rewarded for, because God takes care of me. And so as long as I know that, then I'm okay with what everybody else do and what they say. And again, I'm able to help, and I will help, because that's what God allowed me to do.
Yeah, you still got 3 minutes. Look, Kim always been straight to the point.
I've been straight to the point. I mean, you know, because everything I do is through God. God makes it a way for me to do this. And when I thought about coming out here, I said, way out Tyson's Corner. I'm like, oh no, that traffic. And then I say, what will God do?
Yeah.
I started at my little key in my car. And then when I got out here, and now I got to find somewhere to park too. And I'm like, oh Lord. And
But the parking's
The
free.
parking is free.
no, but I parked all the way down there. Let me tell you, I got a handicap sticker. Not that I'm disabled, but they say I'm disabled because I have scoliosis. But I parked all the way down there. I said, I need a shuttle to bring me back.
Well, hey, I'm letting all the guests, all the guests in the future know that we got free parking. We out here at the intelligence office, located at 1934 Old Gallows Road. And let me tell you something. You know, to me, if you got people that ride all the way to New York to get a pair of shoes or a belt, but they think just a 20-minute ride is way out. No, let me tell you something. This ain't nothing. What we doing this is for all of us. This is a platform for you. You can come and talk about anything and everything. You got a young person out there that wants to know about production and want to get into trying to get their own little podcast. Yo, get in touch with us. You give us a call. You can call me, 703-798-7230. Call me personally. Here's my email, rodneygptp@yahoo.com. I'm telling you, we don't have a problem with helping and setting things up. Kim, the author that's sitting in here today, she said, yo, you want to write a book? Get in touch with her. That's why, let's make some things happen. Let's make it happen. It's not just about you, it's not just about me, but it's all about us. And you know, we make that happen. So with that said, thank you for everybody that tuned in. Please hit share, show you care. Let me tell you something. Please go on to YouTube and subscribe. Please do that. We got so much coming up. I thank Christy Love, who I call her Christy Love, Christy McMillan. She's going to be coming back, and she's going to be networking with us, doing some things. And also don't forget about Lynn Nelson's viewing, and her funeral is going to be on November 10th at the Harvest Assembly on Forson Road. Oh man, that's gonna be something.
Huge. Huge.
That's gonna be, man. I'm telling you, make sure you bring your mask. Make sure you bring some wipes and everything, because it's gonna be
no 6 feet.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
It won't be no good, no. It won't be no 6 feet.
And also for all of us that you didn't get your shots, go ahead and get your shots. Go ahead.
Well, don't show up at that funeral and watch it live stream.
Yeah, I'm just saying. Take care of yourself. Work on your system. Work on your immune system. Work on your spirit. Put God first, and remember that it's in God we trust.
Anything is possible.
Thank you. Yeah.
All right.
Man.